Oh, thank you so much, Bill. That was beautiful. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Orange County. How you doing today? It's so nice to see you. We are definitely small but mighty today, but that's all right because you're here, and that's what's important. In the spirit of that, let's take a second and stand. Let's greet each other right before we sing a song. Right? Right? No, I find that not every day around this time is the day to do it. There's always something. There's always something going on. I'm like, okay, it's time to let that all go. Gotta do service. And as you return to your seats, let's remain standing because we are going to sing together. I release. Here we go. There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, you guys sound lovely today. You may be seated, and let's welcome Howard to the platform. Hi, Howard.
Hello. Hi. Oh, boy. Hey, welcome to Unity of Orange County. It's good to see everybody. All of us are good friends. Welcome to everyone watching us on YouTube. And we're glad you tuned in. And if you're ever in the area, we'd love to have you stop by. Be nice to see you. Okay, so we always start our service by affirming our prayer for our church, our vision, and our mission statement. So first of all, our prayer for our church. God is our strength, our substance, our source, and our supply. We open our minds to divine ideas, and we are grateful for the flow of good in our ministries. In our vision statement, we are love, honoring the divine in all. In our mission statement, we awaken, inspire, and transform lives through loving kindness, education, and service. All right, so first we want to thank those who helped make the service possible. Our music director, Tom. Our keyboard and choir director, Bill. Mark on camera. John and Waverly are both streaming. And our trustee today is the mighty Stephanie. And our greeters today are Kathy and Marilyn. And then hospitality was provided by Rosemary and Jim. If you haven't checked it out yet today, you're in for a thrill. And our speaker today is Angie Keyes. And the title is Sacred Balance, Honoring Grief and Cultivating Gratitude. So what that will be about, how can we hold both grief and gratitude? And so today we're going to explore the sacred balance of holding our feelings of loss while celebrating thankfulness for all that we have experienced. It could be done. We're gonna learn. And before we go to the announcements, this is Memorial Day weekend, so I just want to honor the people that have in our congregation and their families that have helped in terms of helping out our country, and all around the world with finding and keeping freedom in their land. So, do we have any veterans in our today? 1, 2. All right. Thank you, guys. And anybody has any family members that were veterans? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, guys. And that's what we want to remember today. Okay. There's a lot of announcements. So May, we have a power in service. So this month we're going to share opportunities to use the power of power in service. Okay, we have the 12 powers, and one of them is power. So today we're focusing on our greeters and hospitality volunteers. So we're really grateful for everyone who helps out each week. And our greeters create a warm and welcoming experience for everyone who comes in. We've all experienced that. It's just nice to walk through the door and have that greeting. And the hospitality volunteers create the space for connection and nourishment after our service. And I know everybody really likes that, because it's really good. And then we have that opportunity to talk with each other, and it's really a good part of the day. So if you're called to volunteer for either of these roles, please see Ellen. Where's Ellen? Right there. Okay, she's our amazing volunteer coordinator. So that would be for greeters and hospitality, right, Ellen? Okay. All right, then the Summer of Fun is coming. Okay, this is the last Sunday to sign up for our Summer of Fun. If you haven't signed up, make sure you do that. These events are open to family and friends as well, and they're congregant-led get-togethers. It was one of our top visioning goals when we did our visioning practice. So there's a clipboard in the hospitality room for details and to get your event on the calendar. So the sign-ups continue through May 25th, that's today, and then the actual calendar will be out June 1st. So anything you want to plan that you would invite or put together, or maybe some friends put together for congregants and their friends, just write it down over there, and we'll get the details. We're also excited to begin our search for our new minister. So we've been blessed with Reverend Charlie and Reverend Robin supporting us during this in-between time, and it's been wonderful to see our community continue to blossom and grow as we prepare for a permanent minister. So if you'd like to be part of our minister search team and help to create space for us to find the right and perfect person for us as we move forward, please see Tina Magnuson or Angie. Okay? And part of that is because when we move, it will be a lot less expensive, and we'll have more funds to be able to hire a minister. So on June 29th, we'll be having a town hall after the service, and this is a time to connect and share with all of you what's happening with our church. So you'll get all kinds of information there from the board. And if you have any questions, then it's a great time to answer. I know in our town halls before, people have brought up questions, things that they have a question, it turns out, gee, everybody has that same question. Nobody asked it yet. So it's a good time to ask questions and talk about where we're going, which is good. So the board will be present, and we'll do our best to support each of you. Today, we have a prayer chaplains here for prayer after the service today. They'll be right over there. And so if you'd like prayer support, just see one of the chaplains over there, and they'll pray with you. And if you're interested in serving as a chaplain, please see Stephanie, right back there. It's been, I did it, and it was, it's really good, high-quality training, and it's a really fun thing to do. Okay, then today we have a circle of connection directly after the service. That's when we're going to discuss today's lesson, and Angie will be there, and we'll take it a little bit deeper and a little bit more personal for each one of us that want to dive into that. And then next Sunday we'll be holding our blessing circle. Okay, that's a new thing we started do it the first Sunday of the month. And the purpose of the blessing circle is to wish for good for ourselves, our families, our communities, country, and the world by creating a sacred space with the sole purpose of extending blessings. Last time someone brought up blessing just our planet, Earth, which needs a lot of our support. Okay, that's it for now for me and Tom. Come on up.
Thank you, Howard. All right, as Howard mentioned, it is Memorial Day, and not coincidentally, but also somewhat, Angie's talking about grief today. And so I wanted to start off with this song. I want to invite you into a space to maybe just listen and think about someone or hold someone. Memorial Day started off as honoring veterans who had passed. Then it became all service people who passed. And more contemporarily, it kind of is honoring anyone maybe who has passed. I'll leave it up to you to decide which you want to honor. But this song is very much about just remembering them. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. I'm so tired, but I can't sleep, standing on the edge of something much too deep. It's funny how we feel so much, but we cannot say the words. We are screaming inside hope, but we can't be heard. But I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. So afraid to love you, or afraid to lose, clinging to a past that doesn't let me choose. Once there was a darkness, a deep and endless night. You gave me everything you had. You gave me life, and I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories, and I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. Weep not for the memories. That's just a beautiful song, and I appreciate the opportunity to just kind of hold a space for someone that you might be missing. All right, it's time to get ready for our daily word and meditation. We do that by singing an affirmation together. The words are on the screen. As you sing, I want you to think about what you're singing, because indeed, our thoughts are prayers. Here we go. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, the tools that we create with. Our thoughts are prayers that spirit resonates with. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of mindfulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. And let's welcome Angie to the platform.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, let's start our day by lighting our Christ candle. And this candle represents that divine light that we all are. I'm going to get it. Yay! Okay, so just know that this light is always shining within you, even when you forget. It's always there. And we're going to move into a prayer for everyone who's asking for prayer support right now. We're going to see them uplifted. We're going to see them surrounded in light. And we're going to just hold that space, knowing that all things, that thoughts are prayers, that all things are already seen and held in divine light. And we just send that love to all of our congregation, to our country, and to the world. And so it is. All right, so our daily word today is comforted. I am comforted knowing God's presence is a blessing now and always. There are times I mourn the loss of a loved one, or perhaps the loss of something I treasure. I am thankful when those around me acknowledge my loss and comfort me by expressing care and concern. It may not completely alleviate my pain, but their efforts do lift my mood, even if only for a short while. I also recognize the tender, loving presence of God that is always with and within me. It enables me to persevere, even in the face of loss. God's comfort is for everyone. The light, love, peace, and comfort of the divine bless all of us who are feeling the pain of loss, loneliness, and grief. I pray that the love and care of God flow through me to comfort those who grieve. And our scripture is from Isaiah 49:13. Sing for joy, O heavens, and exult, O earth. Break forth, O mountains, into singing. For the Lord has comforted his people and will have compassion on his suffering ones. All right, and so I just invite you to take that into a time of meditation. Allow yourself to get centered within. Allow yourself to just relax. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Allow yourself to be here, now, in this moment. And we hold that energy of comfort, of peace and love. We hold that light for all who have lost someone, for all the family members, all the friends. And And we see each person surrounded in love. And we know that God is with them. Now let's center that love in us and know that we are love. Know that we are expressing comfort. Know that we are light in this world. That light flows through us as us. And we know that we are always, always connected with Spirit. When we are in need, Spirit is there and lifts us up so that we may be there for others. So let's radiate that light outward to our community, and out around the world, knowing that it is touching all the people who are needing it right now. And let's take a moment to just be grateful, so grateful for all that we have, for all that we are, and for all that we have been. And as you come back to this space, bring that energy with you, that energy of light and love and peace and gratitude. And when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes and be present here. Wow, okay. So it already feels kind of heavy, huh? But in a nice way. So tomorrow's Memorial Day. This is a time where we honor those who have served and who have passed in service to our country. So I really want to take a moment to just hold energy for all of those who have been willing to serve. There is grief in the loss and so much gratitude that they were willing to step in and to serve and to work for peace in our country and in the world. As I thought about Memorial Day, I couldn't help but see that correlation between grief and gratitude. So I wanted to dive into that a little bit more. Now, I've never done a talk on grief because honestly, it scares me to death. It really does. Mostly because I didn't realize it, but I am not great at feeling grief. I thought, I'm so strong. Look at me keep moving. Look at me keep going. But there was a time when I was pregnant with my youngest, when Tom's mother passed away. And then 2 days later, a friend of ours passed away. And during that time, I did what I did. I had 2 little kids. I was just pushing through it. I'm strong. Look at me. I got this. Right? I cried. But I felt like I just wanted to be strong for everybody. Fast forward to 2 years later. We were in a new home, and Tom took the 3 kids out for something, just to get them out to go do something. I was at home by myself, which never happens. Any moms out there probably know this, never happens. And I was listening to music, and I heard the song For Good, which you're going to hear in a little bit, and I lost it. And I cried, and I cried, and I wailed, like biggest cry I've ever had in my life. And I just spent the entire time just in that space of just letting it be, just feeling it, just releasing it. And I had no idea how much this grief was like weighing me down in my life. And it was such a huge release, and it was so powerful that that's the first time I really understood grief. And I would love to say I learned my lesson. But I'm still working on it. But I wanted to talk about grief because it is such a touchy thing to talk about. There's no one way to grieve. There's not even one definition for grief. I went online looking and digging and trying to find everything I could. And everyone kind of has a different way of looking at grief. There's the typical, it's poignant distress caused by bereavement. Grief is the anguish experienced after significant loss, usually the death of a beloved person. Unity looks at grief as a powerful spiritual practice and an opportunity for growth. But my favorite comes from the Marvel show, WandaVision. Is anyone familiar? So Wanda has lost her brother, and she's mourning. And the character Vision says to her, "What is grief but love persevering?" And that hit home for me. It's that love that we're still feeling, we're still holding. It's still there, it doesn't go away. Showing up sometimes as pain and sadness. So grief, like I said, there's so many different ways to feel grief. And the most important thing to know is that you don't have to do it the right way. You don't have to limit yourself to the right amount of time. Grief is to be felt. The way that we talk in Unity about it being a spiritual practice is because we feel it. We allow it to be. We allow ourselves to say, I see you, and allow ourselves to be with it. And through that feeling, we grow. We learn more about ourselves. We can even grow in appreciation and gratitude for the person or the thing that we have lost. We grow to have more compassion and understanding for others. It's so powerful. And that's why it's so important that we just let ourselves be. We honor our grief. We embrace this journey. Whew. And we've also often heard, I feel like everybody's probably heard the 5 stages of grief, right? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And I think that's a great framework to start with. And I also know that it's not just those things in a line and you're better, right? You might go to one, then another, then another, then another, then another, then something else. And it's okay. It's about honoring those feelings. Now, the sacred balance with that honoring, is also cultivating gratitude and joy. Now, the gratitude is not to push away the grief, because we can hold both, right? We can have grief and still be so grateful for the experience we had, for the people we've loved, and for everything that's becoming in our lives. It really isn't about being grateful so you don't have to feel. It's about allowing yourself to go into it, see the good, even during the painful times, and hold both. And part of this is about knowing that there is more. Being in grief, being in sadness, and knowing that there is more. This isn't forever. This isn't who you are now. It changes you. Grief changes you because it opens you up. Right? It exposes your vulnerabilities. It makes you look at the pain. And it helps you to heal. And as you heal, you might notice that things shift. Maybe things that seemed really important to you before don't seem quite that important anymore. And maybe things that you didn't notice before, you realize are important. And that's one of the gifts of grief. No one wants grief. We know that. And we don't generally get a choice. But we can look at the gratitude. We can look at what we're gaining, how we're growing. And we can be grateful for that. We can acknowledge the good, even in the challenging times. So during my adventure through grief, I found this great interview with Stephen Colbert. Sorry. And it was beautiful. And he was talking about when he was 10 years old, he lost his dad and 2 brothers in an airplane accident. And he and Anderson Cooper, they were talking about, how does that change who you are? Like, do you think that if that wouldn't have happened, you'd be a different person? How did that change for you? How do you see the good when you've gone through something like that? How do you continue to love and to live and to experience life? And one of the things that they brought up was that Stephen Colbert had quoted Tolkien at one point. So J.R.R. Tolkien received a letter from a priest complaining that his novels and short stories weren't theologically correct because they treated death as a gift rather than a punishment for sin. And Tolkien said in a letter back, "What punishments of God are not gifts? What punishment of God are not gifts?" And that struck Stephen so much that it changed the way he looked at it, because life is a gift. And it's not just about all the good. It's about also holding the challenges and the sadness and seeing how that grows you, how you learn, how you experience life. These are all gifts. In unity, we say God is in all things. And that's not always easy to see when you're looking at something terrible that's heartbreaking. But God is there. And as we grow and learn, we evolve and we gain so much, even from the really hard parts. Some would say especially from the really hard parts. So when we're stuck in that sadness and that fear and that depression, anger, all the different things, it is important to remember who we are. To remind ourselves, this is me feeling this feeling, and I know I will get to the other side of it. We've been talking about the power of power this month. And as Reverend Robin said, the power of power is the power over our thoughts and our beliefs. It's not a power over others, it's a power over ourselves. And this power of power shows up in our ability to think about what we loved about the person or the thing that we lost. To step into gratitude even when we're sad. And the power of power allows us to feel our feelings even when we want to push them away. We have the power to say, this is important. Or this is the time. And once again, it might be 2 years after. I've heard from so many people who've lost parents or people 20 years ago. And they'll say they wake up one day and it's like it was just happening. Grief is its own journey. And it's okay. It's okay to feel it. It's okay to push it away if that's what you need in the moment. But no, it's going to come back. But during those tough times, remember that you can look for the good. The good that was, the good that is. The gratitude for all that you've had and all that you will have and all that you are. One way that we can do this too is during these times of challenge. Maybe set an alarm, maybe, or remember to stop throughout the day and just stop and go, what am I feeling? And what's one thing I'm grateful for right now? Or starting a morning gratitude practice. This is going to be a rough day. What am I grateful for today? And we can build that gratitude as we honor the pain and the shifting that we're feeling around the loss. And as allies, it's important that we just listen as we support our friends, our family, people as they go through their process of grief, that we're present. We don't judge. We don't say, why aren't you over it? We sit, we listen, we ask, how can I support you today? And we remind people that it's okay. Feel it. Because that's how you heal. And that's how you move forward in joy and love. To see all of the good that is yours. So, as we move forward this week, I invite you to allow yourself to feel your feelings. Whatever's coming up, take a moment each day and go, okay, what's coming up for me today? Sit with it. Love yourself through it. And find something that you're grateful for. Because there's always something to be grateful for. Divine love is always within us. It's who we are. And it's also there supporting us. So as we step forward, we know that we have all that we need in every moment. And we are so loved. Thank you so much.
Boo boy. I want to say one thing, something that came up during that talk. Thank you, by the way, for being strong. I had lost my mom, and what she didn't say was, I wasn't there for her because I had lost my mom. So thank you for holding that space for me. All right, guys, there's no way to beat around this. This is going to be a rough one if you know this song. But Angie mentioned it, and we talked about it, and I thought this is a perfect song for this moment. Crying is okay. I want to normalize that. Tears are fine. We have this weird stigma, at least I did, that it's not okay to feel your feelings. And I remember that once I got in touch with that, music is one of the most powerful valves for that, for all of the emotions, really. So sorry about your makeup if it's not waterproof. Hopefully there's tissues. Oh, you're fine. But yeah, let's honor this song, and then again, pick someone and honor them while you hear it. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a sea drop by a skybird in a distant wood. But who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe that I've been changed for the better. It's always that line. Because I knew you. Because I knew you, I have been changed for good. All right, let's welcome Howard back up.
Okay, there we go. Well, Angie, that was wonderful. I wouldn't change that a bit. And thank you for being willing to discuss a difficult topic. My only question is, what is this liquid, salty liquid coming out of my eye? I look around, but yeah, so we're gonna, it's painful. It's gonna bring up some feelings, and we might feel a little bit of that during the day, but right underneath it is that what you said, is that gratefulness and that knowing that Spirit's with us. It will, guide us through. And talk about grief and gratitude. So I had a really supportive mom and family, and so it was tough when my mom died. But on the other hand, she's the one that introduced us all to unity. And I learned those practices from, age 2 or 3, whenever I could hear her. It's like, there's got to be some good in it. Look. So, at any rate, so thank you. That was, that took some courage to do that, and it was perfect. So now we're going to practice the principle of giving and receiving. And so in Luke 6:38, it says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." And this one is, "For the same measure that you measure with, it shall be measured back to you." So why don't we hold our gift in our hands as we say our offering blessing. Love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, and all that I receive. So as you know, our church is supported solely through your generous love offerings and donations, and we really appreciate the financial support. It allows everything to happen here. So the ways to donate, you can text 77977, and the message is Unity of OC Give, or you go to our website. You can donate cash, a check, that sort of thing. Okay. So now, while we're doing that, let's welcome do we have any first-time visitors? Okay. Oh, all right. All right. I was trying to read your name. What is it? Clark. Welcome, Clark. Welcome. All right. So we have where? Oh, sorry. Yeah. And you're Kathy. Right. All right. Well, welcome. Welcome. So we have a blessing for you. Love you, bless you, and appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. All right, so welcome. And if you'd like us to send you, be on our email list, there's a form you can fill out at the. If you haven't been given one, we'll get you one. And so let's just take a moment and hold our world in our hearts. So just for a second, and let's just we affirm peace, love, and healing for all within our country and the world. Okay, thanks. And now, Angie, you want to bless the offering?
Absolutely. Whew. So we hold our love and light in our hearts, and we see these generous donations doing good in our community and in our world. And so it is.
All right, don't forget that we have the Circle of Connection after we have our fellowship. And you can sign up for the Summer of Fun if you want to. That's out there. And then there's I think George put the dates to volunteer to help out at, what's the name of the outfit again? Orange County Rescue Mission. So that's there too if you can sign up for that. All right, well, thanks for being here and have a great week.
Almost. All right, and let's stand, join hands as we sing our peace song, and then our prayer for protection. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God, and the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Altogether, wherever we are, God is, and all is well.